be comfortable the first day. You might not be uncomfortable, but you won't be as happy as you're at home. There's going to be challenges, but just give yourself time because we adapt to any situation.
Welcome to the Volunteer Support Podcast, brought to you by the European Union's co-funded project Promptus EDU, a collaboration between associations Audis Out Mori and Building Bridges.
Welcome to our episode about Adaptation and Learning Process. I'm Luisa from Adaptation and Learning Process, and I'm here with Ignacio and Merced, two volunteers abroad that will tell us about their volunteering experience. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, super.
We're good.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Very happy.
Very happy. Where are you now at the moment?
The ladies first.
We're at Nacho's apartment. He lives in Bando.
In Bando, yeah.
Yeah, Bando. Close to Billund, which is in Jutland in Denmark.
And I wanted to ask you, how was the first month? How was when you started your volunteering project?
Okay, I think me and Mercha, I think you will say the same. Was the process of adaptation to. For me, the most annoying is to do all the process to the papers, the insurance, to adapt the climate, the weather. For example, the schedule, you change the time when you used to go to the breakfast or eating. That's really different from if you compare to Spain.
Yes. Yeah, it was. I think it was a adaptation month, basically. Just kind of also we're both at a school, so getting to know all the students, new names, new faces. The names are horrible to pronounce, right. So it's really challenging. and yeah, definitely food wise it was horrible because they eat so early and we're so used to eating,
and they eat a lot, I think,
late in the evening, so I was really hungry by 9 o'clock at night. So yeah, it's been,
and the language
challenge. Yeah, well, the language is something else. The language we're still there. but I think it was a fun, like very exciting and very fun, but at the same time very challenging and very just like getting to adapt to it.
And what happened next in the months? Did you find you were changing something? Did you think that the adaptation process was going to a better moment? How was with learning new name?
Well, I'm still working to learn all the names.
Yeah, I think we lost the fear of trying. So during the first month, you're kind of like, oh my God, I don't know how to say it, and you don't even try. Mm-hmm. But then you need it. So then you start.
It's like a survival mode.
Yeah, exactly. You go into survival mode And I feel like after the first month, everything started to fit in. We also started, like, I think, in October, we started like meeting new people and new volunteers. And that also helped kind of get a general view of what other people are doing and what you're doing and why you like it and why you don't. And what can you do to change what you don't like and how can you get more involved with what you like. And I think
you are not alone, like you are with other.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Find like company as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it's been like, it gets better. I mean, it's been fun all the way for me, at least.
For me too.
But it does, like, I can feel like the first month was maybe the worst. Also like cultural shock and maybe just getting to know new people. And after 1 month that they already know you already know them, the culture starts being also yours, kind of, and you start mixing through it, and it just, everything falls into place.
For me, my opinion was a dream to come here, and it's easier to adapt. I like the weather is okay, but the people are so kind. So kind, and it's like I see I can fit very well with the culture, the English culture.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I don't like the weather though. Just to make that clear.
You can live with the weather, right? Yeah.
We haven't seen the sun in 2 months. I'm dying.
I think it's one of the only thing that you can say, like, is the negative point of Denmark.
It's cloudy all the time. So how's Denmark? Gray. But the people are very warm.
Yeah, they always smile and they don't know you and always say good morning, and they always smile and they trust each other so much.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
And What about your activities? I'm curious. What do you do during the day for your project?
Okay, I will start. Me, I am as a gymnastic instructor and a football instructor. I help in the activities, and most of the time I join with the students because me and I think Merch is the same role. We are between the students and teacher. We are here to make happy and easier this experience for the students. And for example, if they need help in the kitchen, I help. If they need help repairing something, I always ask them, "You need help?" Yes, or they call me, "Nacho, we need help in the kitchen or in the washing machine." I always available.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we're kind of the big brothers and sisters of the students in a way. In my case, I'm more in charge of that role, like during the evening activities, saying goodnight, all of that. Yes, I think that's my biggest role. Like that's where I spend most of my time during the evenings at the school. So just preparing activities for the students. If they want to play volleyball, being there, playing with them, eating with them, like kind of contributing to the community. And then I also help with the Spanish classes in the morning, science classes. And sometimes I teach, sometimes I'm just assisting the teacher that's there. We kind of take turns into that. But yeah, it's I think you made a good point that we're kind of the link between teachers and students, and we're there all the time, which the teachers are not allowed to be all the time. They need some free time, and we do as well. But I mean, we eat there, we spend more time with the students that are teachers. So then we have that kind of connection with the students sometimes that it's a little bit more deep. And it's so like we can, brother or sister, like. Yeah, exactly. And then if something is wrong, something happens, we can be the link between those two figures, which is sometimes nice and sometimes really challenging, but it's definitely interesting.
And something that I want to add is, like, for example, me and Merche is going to take a ski trip to Sweden and me to Austria with the students.
Yeah. So we travel a lot with them as well. Yeah, that's very nice.
And for example, when I started to teach a little Spanish to 2 or 3 students, and they help me with the Danish.
Yeah.
And I train them too in the.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a student in the Danish as a second language class, which is very fun. But the rest of the time, yeah, I'm teaching and helping. Yeah. And we do have a class like that teach Spanish. So I'm kind of with another teacher, but we're both in charge of it. And so we split the class in half, and I take one part and he takes the other. And it's really nice. Yeah.
Maybe on my free time, I teach Spanish. Very informal.
Yeah. Wow. You do a lot of things, a lot of activities, a lot of new things. So I have a question for you. What do you think are you learning?
Me? Okay.
Tricky question. Tricky question.
For example, one of the most important things that you can't learn it, for example, when you are in the high school, is the informal knowledge, like how to treat the people, how to communicate, how to, for example, help in the, for example, it's really important how to say, to know what the other person needs. Empathy, yeah. The important values, for example, to fit in other culture, adapt to change your ship. From Spain to Denmark is difficult, and it's very challenging to change Spanish and English.
Yes.
And sometimes I forget sometimes some words from Spain. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that happens a lot. Yes. Yes, I think we're learning a lot of English, a lot of Danish.
Yeah, that's the point.
Or at least we're trying. And for me, I've been learning a lot what my place is in terms of my relationship with the students. Like I've always wanted to be a teacher, so that's kind of my goal. And here I have the chance to be a teacher, but in a more friendly way. So I'm also exploring that side, not being so strict or so focused on the academics, but more on the person and what they need and how to help them in this other way, you know? And I think that's what I've been liking the most, and what I've been learning also from other teachers, how they treat the students, what the relationship like they have. It's more deep than the relationship I probably had with my teachers, and the way they trust us and we trust them. It's just so nice that I'm really enjoying to kind of find out how can I create that, you know, whenever I become a teacher in my own school. So it's really nice. And then in terms of living with someone else, there's a lot of sharing a flat with someone, and of course you learn a lot there, and how to tolerate and also make yourself understandable for others, because maybe something you find obvious, the other person is like, I've never heard that, I never do it like that. And so that's also been for me a challenge and a huge learning, and right now I think it's really nice.
And I think for my part, and I think you can be with me, it's like the culture here is like when the students you can it's like in Spain there is a really thin line that you can pass, and here it's like normal. They respect you and you can be as friend with the students.
Yes.
And they are not very stressful with the mark. They only want to learn, achieve as many things as possible, but the most important is to enjoy what they learn.
Yeah, and to enjoy their company, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's because of the kind of school we work in, because we're in a boarding school, so like the students sleep here and everything. But I think, yeah, that they build this kind of community around it that is so strong that even though they're not the best at the school, it doesn't matter, because they value many other things, and that's really, really nice and really interesting.
And other thing in Denmark is like there is any differences between I'm your boss and you are a less church.
Yeah. We're at the same level.
Yeah,
that's true.
You can live with the sub-director or something.
Yeah.
Talk as a normal person.
As if it were any other teacher or any other, not student maybe, but but staff. Like there's not this that strict hierarchy, is it? I don't know.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
I think that sometimes we learn a lot of things, but we don't realize it during the learning process. As Mercedes was saying, I'm learning even because I'm living with other people. I'm learning how to be understandable, how to understand, how to be patient too. The first time I lived alone, I was learning how to be patient, how to improve my communication skills, to communicate with people that were from other country. So I think that that's the magic of the learning process, that you can learn from a lot of things that came from different areas. You can learn doing your sport classes, or you can learn during your Spanish or English classes, but you can also learn with the other people that you are living your project with. There's a phrase that I love: sharing is caring. And when we share, we learn a lot. And when other people share with us, we are learning even more. So I don't know, I just wanted to say this because I think that when we are counting the things that we are learning, it comes a point where we can make a list and we say, wow, I didn't realize I was learning all of this. I thought I was just doing English classes. And then in the end, the English classes are the less important things, because it's like the 1% of all the things that you are living through. I was thinking about also your travels with the students and how amazing can be this, how can be interesting living the education in another country, learn new ways of teaching and be taught by other teachers. So nothing. I'm really happy that you are going through this learning process and that you are happy that you are learning a lot of things. And I have another question for you. Do you think that you will use all these things that you are learning in your future? Do you think that this experience will affect your future?
Yes, I think so, because by my part, it's like when you are in another country, it's like it says that if you live in your country 1 year, it's okay. You are in your comfort zone. But if you move to another country, it's like a car at 170 kilometers per hour. It's like you have many things new. You have to adapt. You have to improve yourself, challenge yourself every day. It's like change your mentality and your mindset.
Yes.
I think that's the most important, the soft skill. It's like you learn more doing things than studying things. Like I prefer the soft skill than the hard skill. You can always learn it, the hard skill, like a career, a degree, a course, something.
Yeah, and I think definitely you use it, of course, in your everyday life, but also I think it changes you in how you see the world and your country and how it works. And because I don't know, it's stupid example, but now with Christmas, we've learned so many traditions they have that are so fun. And now that I'm going home, I'm like, I want to show my family and I want to do it. And I want it to be a tradition at my house because I find it beautiful, you know? And so I think those things we're going to keep. And also, yeah, just like for example, the way a class is structured or how the teacher approaches the students, that's also something that we will take. And of course, our personal learning and growth, that of course you take it with you.
And one of the thing I love is the networking, how many people you connect and know from other countries, and always you can visit them.
Yeah.
And you learn so many things from their culture.
Yeah, and you also make connections really fast.
I think it's Spanish very special. Like we don't need so much time to.
Yeah. But I think we're the only ones in our organization, the only Spanish ones. Yeah. And the first time we met, we were like, yeah,
like, I know
we're gonna get along. So this kind of just new connections. It's really nice.
And do you use English in your daily routine?
Every single moment.
Yes, me too. I live with an Italian, so we sometimes, when we get tired, I just speak Spanish, he speaks Italian, and I'm really good at Italian now. No, I'm not, but I do understand a lot more than I did at the beginning. And that's nice. But with the students, with the teachers, with the staff, with everyone, we speak English. And then also, even though we can speak Spanish when we're in a group with someone else, I think we always switch to English.
Yeah.
And it just
that's a respectful
same. And it's very comfortable, like because you also, I mean, I knew him in Spanish because I introduced myself to him in Spanish. But then automatically we were in a conversation in English.
In English, so, even we're Spanish. Like,
yeah, so I don't really mind talking to him in English.
And it's difficult to change
back to
the language.
Yeah. So yes, I think we're using it a lot, and I'm just
and
glad.
You talk in Danish is only because you learn it, because you always hear it from other people.
Yeah, and I mean, I can say really, I talk like an Indian in Danish, so I can say very few words and very schematic kind of.
There was something that happened to me the first time I went abroad. By the way, I was on a volunteering project too, long time ago. And it was funny when I was not realizing in which language I was talking. I mean, I was like thinking in a language and I was talking in English. And after a few minutes, I was realizing, oh, I'm talking in English. Or I was watching TVs in another language and I was not realizing that I was watching a movie in English with Spanish subtitles, and I am Italian. So for me, it was like watching the movies with the Spanish subtitles, and after, why I'm doing this? Because it's strange how our minds just switch from a language to another, and we don't realize, and we are just talking, and we don't even know in which language. And I was automatically speaking in English with some people, or in Spanish with others, and sometimes I was mixing, speaking in Spanish with people who didn't know English, and in reverse. And I was thinking about how amazing our mind can be through this learning process, because you came at the point that you just talk and you don't know in which language, but other people are understanding you, so everything is going well. But it's like, okay, why I'm watching a movie in Spanish if I can watch it in my native language? I just not just realizing, I'm just doing it.
I think that you like when you take something difficult and you improve it, it's like you want to challenge yourself more times. Like you choose the difficult journey. I think for me, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's traveling.
And it's funny sometimes when with my colleague we speak Spanish and Italian, and then some of the teachers hear us. They sometimes get in the conversation like, I know what you said just because of the tone. Just why are you? Like what are you joking around or what? You know, because just of your face that you're making, they can read what's the conversation about, and that's really funny. Yeah.
when it comes to struggle with new words, body language is very important, because we can learn how to understand other people by their faces, their movements. So we don't know the language, but I understand if you're happy or if you're very mad at me for something that I did that I don't know what, but I can say that you are angry with me. So that's funny. This is a learning process too,
Yes.
Try to understand others, even when we don't know the language. So it's a new language. I've never used no words in this language, but I'm learning how to read you, how to understand you, even
Yeah.
if there is a language barrier between us. So I think that this is also something very interesting about also soft skills, how to be more empathetic, how to connect with other people, how to try to avoid misunderstanding and conflicts due to some kind of words that in a language can be different or used differently. So I think that it's kind of amazing.
Yes.
And I really hope that you are enjoying your learning process now.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted to say that I have a funny story. But like my first week, I was getting very mad with some students, and I wanted to like
respect them, man.
yeah, kind of like I don't know, not punish, but kind of like give them a like call them off.
I know the teacher, but you have to respect me.
Yeah, exactly. And they were doing something bad, so I had to like stop them from doing it and kind of have a talk with them. And I went for it like without thinking, like, okay, this is wrong. I'm gonna go with my angry face on and all my effort in. And then I start having the talk. And while I was speaking, I was like, oh my God, this sounds ridiculous. Because I didn't have the words to be mad in English. Yeah, I was so polite because that's how I learned English. So I was being so polite. I thought, oh my God, they're going to start laughing. And they did. They started laughing. And I was like, oh no.
I was so frustrated. You can't
I couldn't be tough. I couldn't be like strong. You know, the message was so like disaster.
It's not the real meaning. Like you can't be like, why it's difficult when you try to express your language. You are so frustrated. Oh, I wish I could able to.
Yeah, I need to tell you this, and I'm saying something completely like meaningless because I don't know how to put those words, those strong words I need. But it's something we've been learning.
That moment makes you better with the language because you need it to improve it.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing these funny stories. I think that it's kind of easy to walk through these kind of episodes because we learn a language, but we need more words. And in this case, you didn't know how to get mad in English.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't.
I'm picturing the scene, like your students looking at you. Why is she so polite if she's mad with us? I'm sure that now you know how to use.
Yes. Yes. Now I have it.
So I was very happy to have this talk with you. And is there something that you would like to say to future volunteers?
Okay. For me, I always say like it's better to try something and let's see what's happened. To think, I think it's not a good thing, or you think about many times. It's better to try, and if you fuck up, you fuck up. The life is too long. You have many opportunities to try and let's see what's happened. You learn more when you try than you wait the perfect moment.
Yes.
Never doesn't exist.
Yeah, I support that, and I will add also be patient, give you time. It's like you're not going to be comfortable the first day. You might not be uncomfortable, but you won't be as happy as you're home. There's going to be challenges. Right. But just give yourself time because we adapt to any situation. So just take it slow, make the best you can, and communicate, and just embrace it because it'll be what you need if you put the effort in it. So yeah, give you time. I think that's my advice.
Realistic, maybe.
Yes.
Thank you for your beautiful words, and I hope that our listeners will listen to your words and be more encouraged to start this adventure, knowing that the learning process can be a little bit a roller coaster, with up and down. But in the end, you learn a lot and you're worth it because I can listen to you and I can tell that you are learning a lot, that you are enjoying your experience, even if the adaptation process can have its down part, like, oh, will I do it? Why I'm here? Oh yes, I'm very happy to stay here. I want to leave right now. It's like this roller coaster of emotion where you don't know actually what you are going to do, why you are doing this. But after, as you were saying, it passed. You learn, you go through, And then you have your adaptation, you have your own daily routines, you have your friends, you learn your languages. So thank you, because I really hope that this message will go to our listeners and people that are in doubt about, should I send my application? Should I do it or not? So I really thank you so much
apply.
for your time.
Do it.
Do it.
Thank you too for the opportunity.
Thank you so
We
much.
can say Dennis.
Yeah, do you want to say
We can
bye?
say Dennis a little. Vengo there. Vengo weekend. Yeah. I think so. We will improve it the Danish time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you too.